Well, hello, Mid-Michigan, and welcome to high school baseball here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Coming on a little late, a little wonky here, but again, what do you expect when you've got three baseball games going on here at Central Michigan University? Mount Pleasant Sacred Heart Academy was able to best Rudyard with a first pitch at 10 a.m. And then at noon, it was Glen Lake in Rudyard. Glen Lake was able to win that game 7-1. It ended in 6 innings due to time constraints here at Killets Field at Tennyson Stadium on the campus of Central Michigan University. And so now we're getting ready for our nightcap, but it's still early part of the day, getting ready for the third game of our triple header. Sacred Heart Academy taking on a Maple City Glen Lake. Glen Lake only has one game underneath their belt, and it just happened moments ago as they were able to best Rudyard. And Sacred Heart Academy, they've now got 5 games under their belt. They're 5-0 as they bested Sheboygan twice, Breckenridge twice, and they bested Rudyard here earlier today. Believe we are going to see maybe Mr. Nate Davis on the bump for Sacred Heart Academy. Or Brady Davis, I should say. I'm getting, Nate Seiler, Brady Davis, getting those two switched up. The two aces here for Sacred Heart Academy. But I believe it will be Hank McDonald. We could see that stud, Brady Davis, out there. But starting lineup for Sacred Heart Academy is coming right up. We're going to take a break here. This is the Woods Household pregame show. Always talk to you about the best seat in the house, brought to you by our friends at Woods Household Appliance in Clare. It is those umpires out there. We got 2 of them here today. Only had 1 of them for softball earlier this week. Big shout out to those guys for being able to get that done. We need more officials for all the sports in the Mid-Michigan area for the MHSAA. If you want to get involved, head to the MHSAA website and click on the Be the Referee tab. As I said, take a break here on our Woods Household pregame show. Coming to you live from our Barbary Law Studios, built by Conwinsk Construction at Central Michigan University today for some Sacred Heart Academy baseball. Back more Woods Household pregame show. That starting lineup for Sacred Heart Academy right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Hey guys, it's Tanya from Clark Modular Homes. I'm here to talk to you today about who we are and what we do. Clark's opened in 1983 and has been centrally located right here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. We have one of the largest display centers with around 12 to 15 homes on display all year round. We have a fully experienced staff. We also have an in-house project manager who can pull our permits and coordinate our job from start to finish. We are proud to have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. We are our own contractor, making it a one-stop shop for you for your home building needs. As the owner would say, we can do it all.
Brad Malley Well Drilling has proudly served Mid-Michigan since the early 1990s. We are family-owned with 3 licensed drillers and over 100 years of experience. We specialize in 5-inch PVC water wells and systems ranging from 2 to 12 inches. Every well we do includes a 5-year warranty and 1-year parts and labor guarantee. We are available 24/7, and you'll always talk to a real person. Call Brad Malley Well Drilling today for a free estimate. Trusted service, generation after generation.
Weber Brothers Sawmill has been in the sawmill and logging business since 1950. Weber Brothers Sawmill buys standing timber and logs all over central and northern Michigan with National Hardwood Lumber Association certification. You can be assured of a professional job, from the marking and cruising of your woods through the harvest. Weber Brothers Sawmill is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes. Blackco Pools and Spas is Mid-Michigan's #1 pool and hot tub destination that will turn your old space into your #1 destination. From delivery of a full pool for the family to the relaxing hot tub for after work for mom and dad, Blackco Pools and Spas does it all. Stop by their showroom on Remus Road to check out their beautiful selection of hot tubs and learn how you can build the pool of your dreams.
J&J Auto in Wademan is Mid-Michigan's elite automotive repair shop. J&J Auto offers complete collision repair and mechanical repair. Stop by on Wademan Road or call them today at 989-644-8908. J&J Auto, proud supporters of high school student athletes.
Pure sportsmanship is the most important thing in high school sports. When it comes to your home or business, Pure Plumbing just might be the most important thing. If your plumbing isn't pure, don't worry, no one needs to see the other angle. For Pure Plumbing, call 989-644-8928 or visit mipureplumbing.com. Block Electric Company in Wademan has been powering Michigan for over 30 years. There's no job too big or too small for Block Electric Company, like an entire school or something simple at the home, like making sure the outdoor lighting, thermostat, or ceiling fan is installed professionally. Block Electric Company is a proud supporter of local schools and high school student athletes, learning skills in and out of the classroom to lead our communities tomorrow. Good luck to all student athletes from Block Electric Company, and go Aggies.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back inside our Woods Household Appliance pregame shows. We get set for Sacred Heart Academy, Maple City, Glen Lake, and Coach Chris Herman from Glen Lake. I was just able to get a picture of the roster from him again. They just got done playing, so we're going to be learning some of these Maple City, Glen Lake names together. And if you're from Glen Lake, my apologies not being able to get all those names before. Couldn't find anything on Game Changer. But obviously, if you're a local, you know your boy is a bit of a homer. We are here for the Irish today, and we do know that starting lineup for the Sacred Heart Academy Irish. District champions last year. I think they've had 30-plus wins the last 3 years or something crazy like that. But they lost a great senior class last year. Joe McDonald, Jason Bogue, Ryan Wiggins, Grady Perrette, who was just absolutely killing it right now at Alma College, I believe, in the last. He's now 16 of 30 on the season. Did not get a whole lot of at-bats early. But it will be Hank McDonald starting on the bump for Sacred Heart Academy. And since they're out there defensively to start the game, we'll go through that defense. It's McDonald on the bump, behind the plate, Brody Collin. At first base, Brady Davis. At second base, it'll be Jack Morrow. Over at third, it'll be Jackson Moore. DHing for him will be Caleb Strauch. At shortstop, it's Gator Seiler. And then in the outfield and left, it's Nico Vasquez. In center, it's Noah Zinen. And right, it's Tegan Duffy. That is a lot of speed in the outfield for Sacred Heart Academy. And it's going to be very important at a venue here, like here today at Central Michigan University's Tennyson Stadium, because a little bit bigger outfield than you see at some of our local high schools. But the starting batting order for Sacred Heart Academy: Noah Zion, Brody Collin, Tegan Duffy. Hitting in the cleanup spot will be Brady Davis. Hitting fifth, Nate Seiler. Sixth, Hank McDonald. Seventh, Nico Vasquez. DHing in the eighth spot is Caleb Strauch. And behind them, hitting in the ninth spot, pretty much a second leadoff hitter, is Jack Morrow. Looks like we're pretty much all ready to go. We've got Hank McDonald taking his final few warm-up pitches out there on the bump, getting ready. And here comes the first batter of the game for Maple City Glen Lake. And as you heard me say, we are going to be learning some of these players together for Maple City Glen Lake. As I said, they just got done with their last game, so we're just rolling up here, getting ready to roll. Here we go. Hank McDonald on the bump, just got the signal from Brody Collin behind the plate. It's going to be Atkins leading things off for Maple City Glen Lake. First pitch is going to be in there for a strike. Atkins will be on the bump as well for Maple City Glen Lake. Sully Atkins, that is. Second one over for a strike, and also a great location from Hank McDonald as well. Has a couple pitches to waste here, going for the punch-out if he chooses to do so with an 0-2 count. Here comes the next pitch. It's going to be lined towards right field. It's going to get down just inside the foul line for a base hit. Great piece of hitting right there from Sully Atkins. He was down 0-2 in the count. Didn't really fret and was able to make it happen with two strikes. Again, a great piece of hitting right there. Newman now stepping to the plate for a Maple City Glen Lake. Again, going back last several years, basketball with Sacred Heart Academy, baseball with Beal City deep in the playoffs. I've seen this Glen Lake team a whole lot. When I walk up to Chris Herman, it was just kind of a nod anymore. No introducing myself even. This one's going to be fouled back out of play. 0-1 now, the count to Newman. Sully Atkins at first base after getting a leadoff single to start the ball game. We're scoreless here at the beginning of game number 3 here of the day. Both of these teams were able to best Rudyard. Now looking to finish undefeated on the day, go 2-0. Check at the runner over at first base. Back in time is Atkins. Lefty Brady Davis playing first base for Sacred Heart Academy. Hank McDonald back up on the bump, ready to wind and deal here with the 2-0. Or pardon me, the 0-1. Runner is going. Atkins will take second base. A good throw from behind the plate from Brody Collin, just a little bit late. Again, It's tough behind that plate all the way down to second base. Again, they're playing the same dimensions they do in the majors here. So now runner in scoring position, nobody out. Count still says 0-1. 0-2 it is, pardon me. Colton Newman now with a chance to drive in a run if he's able to get one through the infield here. And still playing pretty deep out in left, center, and right field is Vasquez, Zion, and Duffy. McDonald shakes things off here, wants another pitch from Brody Collin from behind the plate. And we're scoreless, top of the first inning. Maple City Glen Lake with their leadoff runner on, got a steal, now in scoring position. Nobody out. McDonald checks that runner at second. Here comes the 0-2. Just misses the outside corner. Now 1-2 to Colton Newman. Newman, number 2 hitter, wearing number 2. Digs back in. I believe I saw him at short earlier against Rudyard, so I imagine see him back in that same spot again. Piecing together that lineup a little bit here. They do have him listed as the shortstop. Big swing and a miss. Big time punch out there from Mr. Hank McDonald as he gets the K. You got Davis at first. Brody Collin behind the plate. At short, Gator Seiler. Over at third, Jackson Moore. At second, Jack Morrow. As we go through the alignment for the Sacred Heart Academy defense. First pitch is going to miss outside, 1-0 the count to the number 3 hitter here for Maple City Glen Lake. That's Spencer McNitt. McNitt digs in and was going to bounce up there. Great job by Brody Collin keeping it in front of him. Yeah, those bouncers aren't the worst pitch when it comes to high school baseball. You get that big bender that kind of breaks off, tails off towards the end of the pitch. It can be really, really effective getting the batters to chase. But you got to have a great catcher behind the plate, and the Irish do in Mr. Brody Collin. Checking the runner at second, diving back in time is the base runner. 2-0 the count. Runner at second base, 1 out, top of the first inning. We're scoreless with Sacred Heart Academy in Maple City Glen Lake. Here comes the pitch from Hank McDonald. Catches the outside corner, 2-1. See the confidence they've got at Hank McDonald. Still chasing the corners there on the 2-0 count. Runner at second, Atkins leads away. McDonald waits a sign from Collin. Checks that runner. That one's going to miss low and outside. 3-1 now the count to Spencer McNitt. Lots of other action going on today. I believe the Beale City baseball team is playing in a wooden bat tournament. So we'll get on Game Changer and check some of those scores when we get opportunities to do so. And if you don't have Game Changer, I highly recommend you download the app. It's a great way to follow along with our local baseball and softball teams. That one's going to miss inside. It'll be a walk for Spencer McNitt. So now 2 runners on base, 1 down, the cleanup hitter coming to the plate for Maple City Glen Lake. Runners on first and second for Tanner Crick. McDowell checks that runner. First pitch is right down the middle for a strike. Great job there by McDonald saying, you know what I need? I'm going right down the middle of this one to make sure we get that first pitch strike. Crick plays third base for Maple City Glen Lake. Before that, it was McNitt who was the catcher. So you see pitcher, shortstop, catcher, third base, the first 4 guys up for Maple City Glen Lake. Again, you're always looking for that up the middle with the best defensive players as well. Catcher, pitcher, shortstop, center field. And so right now could be going through the power part of the lineup for Maple City Glen Lake. Again, when you get some of these smaller schools, you get teams that you got 4, 5, maybe 6 really good hitters, but then things really open up when you get to the bottom of the order if you're the pitcher on the mound. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Hank McDonald. Runners on first and second, 1 out, top of the first. This one will be fouled back off the netting. 0-2 now the count to Spencer Crick. At second base is Sully Atkins. He singled and stole second. Colton Newman then struck out. Then Spencer McNitt walked. Runners at first and second, one out, top of the first inning. We're scoreless. Sacred Heart Academy, Maple City, Glen Lake, here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Brought to you in part by our friends Bryce Updegraff, Joe Wentworth, Palladium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates. Runner going from third. He's going to get past the second baseman. Coming around to score will be Sully Atkins. Holding at second is Spencer McNitt. And now at first base, again, you don't got me ruling a whole lot of errors out here. We're going to rule it as an RBI single for Tanner Crick, but Morrow probably wants that one back at second base. Run across here for Glen Lake in the top of the first inning. Now the number 5 hitter stepping up to the plate. That's going to be Mr. Brady Turner. Turner batting from the right side. Kind of waves the bat. Got a couple runners on here. Already a run across from Maple City Glen Lake here in the first inning. First pitch is going to miss. Good location, though. Looking for the low outside corner was McDonald. One run in already for Glen Lake here in the top of the first inning. We've got one out. Runners on first and second base. Checked at runner at second. Back in time is Spencer McNitt. Turner at the plate. Count 1-0. We got one out here in the top of the first inning. Turner playing first base in this one for Maple City Glen Lake. Down checks the runner at second. He's way away. This one's going to miss high. That's one of the tough things. You get those base runners on here in high school baseball. It's a lot different than high school softball. Softball, they're not leading off. Baseball, oh, they are leading off, and they are dancing, making things very, very difficult for the pitcher on the mound. And they continue to dance and dance and dance. McDonald doesn't check the runner, kind of steps off the rubber. Make the runner get back. 2-0 the count. 1-0. Maple City Glen Lake with the lead. Top of the first inning. First high school baseball game of the year here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. McDonald wants another signal on the bump. Now he's ready to go. Here comes the 2-0. In there for a strike. 2-1 now the count to Brady Turner. And at first is Crick. At second is McNitt. 2-1 the count. Hear the wind ripping at Tennyson Stadium. That one's going to be inside. Try to get the throw down to third base. It's going to be a little wild. The runner will hold, though. Great play in left field on the coverage there from Nico Vasquez. He saw that throw coming down was a little high. He got there to cover for his teammate. That'll hold the runners at second and third instead of allowing the run to come in. Turner at the dish. Fletcher Middleton is on deck for Maple City Glen Lake. And kind of learning that roster together here as we open up this game. And again, another shout out, Coach Herman, coaches from Rudyard making this trip down here so they can get some baseball games in. Big shout out to CMU as well for allowing these youngsters to get out here and use this field. Talk with some people from Rudyard. I say, still got snow on the field? He says, man, I still got 8 feet of snow in my yard. So they're afraid they might not be able to see that Rudyard baseball field until playoff time. 3-2 now the count to Brady Turner as him and Hank McDonald continue to battle. Runners at second and third. There's one out, top of the first inning. A big pitch right here. Turner digs back in. McDonald has the sign. He winds. He deals. It's going to be popped up out of play right here in front of this guy. Takes a tumble into the bleachers. We'll do the 3-2 again. Nice job by Brady Turner battling off a tough pitch there from Hank McDonald. Payoff pitch coming here again. Runners at second and third. We're in the top of the first inning. Glen Lake already has a runner across. There's one out. At the plate's Brady Turner. On the bump, Hank McDonald. He's already punched out one. Looking for another one here. It's going to be just low for ball 4. So the bases are now loaded for Fletcher Middleton. Middleton, the number 6 hitter for Maple City Glen Lake. And we've actually got, that's Coach McDonald, not Coach Hartman, heading out to the circle. See if we could have a pitching change here. Again, you come out here, it's a little cold, a little windy, tough to get things going. Fletcher Middleton stepping to the plate. He is the left fielder for Maple City Glen Lake. And waiting to see if we have some type of pitching change here. Bases loaded, 1 out, top of the first inning. Maple City Glen Lake already with 1 runner across here in the ballgame. So it's Fletcher Middleton at the plate right now. At first is Brady Turner. At second is Tanner Crick. At third is Spencer McNitt. Say leading off the inning was Sully Atkins. He singled with 2 strikes. Nice liner down the right field line that was just barely fair. Then Colton Newman struck out. Spencer McNitt walked. Then Tanner Crick he called an error, but I've got an RBI single in my scoring book. And then Brady Turner had a great at-bat. He saw 7 pitches before he eventually walked. McDonald will remain on the circle. These are the type of moments right here. You talk about what kids learn playing high school sports that they can't learn in the classroom. If you're McDonald, got a battle out here. Nice bender there, getting the batter to kind of lean out of the way, but it's over for a strike to Fletcher Middleton. Left fielder for Maple City Glen Lake. He's got the bases loaded here with 1 out, top of the first inning. Be huge if you're the Irish to get out of this inning, only giving up 1 or 2 runs. You've already given up the 1. That one's going to stay high, 1-1 now the count to Middleton. Saying if you're at Maple City Glen Lake, you're much more warmed up than Sacred Heart Academy. They had to sit around for a couple hours, whereas Glen Lake just got done playing to get right back out there on the field. It's got to mean a little something out there. McDonald's going to step off. Big moment here with the bases loaded. 1-1 count, 1 out. You don't really think about the double play ball much in high school, but be a great scenario for one here. McDonald has the sign. He winds and deals. This one will be fouled off down the first baseline near the Sacred Heart Academy dugout. 1-2 now the count. Lamb on deck for Maple City Glen Lake. It's Levi Lamb. 1-2 the count. McDonald, again, he could bounce one up here, try to get that swing and strike. Count just got to make sure it stays in front of him. There is that bouncer. It will get away from the catcher. Coming in to score is McNitt. Moving up to third is Tanner Crick. Moving up to second is Brady Turner. That'll now run the count to 2-2 to Fletcher Middleton. Still a chance to drive in a couple here. You know, if you're Sacred Heart Academy, you get out of this inning only giving up these 2 runs, you're going to feel okay. Just make sure these guys from second and third don't come in now. With the offensive firepower you got, 2-3 runs in the first inning shouldn't be that big of a deal. That one's going to miss inside. 3-2 now the count to Middleton. 2-0, Glen Lake in front. Runners at second and third. Full count, 1 out. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a strikeout there. Big time punch out from Hank McDonald. Both of his outs this top half of the first inning have come via the strikeout. That was a huge one right there. Now 2 outs. Runners remain at second and third as Levi Lamb steps to the dish, pardon me. Lamb playing second base for Glen Lake in this one. That one in the dirt. Great job by Brody Collin keeping it in front of him. And when you hear me say in the dirt, it's not a bad pitch. You're trying to get that batter to chase, and the way you throw it, if you're a good pitcher, it comes all the way to the zone looking like a strike, and then right before the plate, it just drops off. Here comes the 1-0 count. That's on the low outside corner for a strike. Great location there for Hank McDonald. We've got 2 runs in here at the top of the first inning. There is 2 out. Runners remain at second and third. Still a very dangerous situation here for Sacred Heart Academy. Here comes the 1-1. That one's going to bounce up there. It's going to get away from the catcher. Another run's going to come in to score. That's Tanner Crick. Moving up to third base is going to be Brady Turner. It's now a 2-1 count. Another run comes in. Again, that's that number I felt like you didn't want to get to if you're Sacred Heart Academy. You had the bases loaded with one out. If one run came in, okay, you don't want those 2 runs to come in. Now 3 have come across here in the top of the first inning for Maple City Glen Lake. It's going to be on the outside corner. 2-2 now the count. McDonald's already punched out 2. Love to get another one here. Actually, they still got it at 2-1 on the scoreboard. Waiting to see exactly what that correct count is here. So I believe it's 2-2. We'll see after this. Here comes the next pitch from Hank McDonald. He's got the sign from Colin behind the plate. Runner at third base. Very short lead. Make sure you don't get picked off at third. That's going to be a foul ball. Actually, no, but it'll be grounded towards first. Easy play for Brady Davis. It's going to be a ground out to first base. The 3 runs do come across for Maple City Glen Lake. They leave one on. Due up for the Irish, brought to you by our friends at J&J Auto, Weefrich Financial, Clark Modular Homes, Brad Malley Well Drilling, and Malley Construction. It's Noah Zion, Brody Collin, and Tegan Duffy. Due up for the Irish right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Attorney Joe Barbary. Just like doctors specialize in areas of medicine, at Barbary Law, we specialize in getting you the best possible results. If you've been injured by someone else's negligence, you owe it to yourself and your family to call our legal team. At Barbary Law, we focus on one thing, and that's getting you the compensation you deserve. Every case we take personally.
My attorney is Joe Barbary. He can be yours too.
Mumford Oil and Gas Supply is your one-stop shop for top quality products and procurement in the Michigan oil and gas industry. With over 45 years of experience and a strong commitment to customer satisfaction, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply delivers the best solutions for your oil and gas production, drilling, and service needs. If you need it, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply can get it. Visit them on Fancher today or give them a call at 989-317-8582.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back inside our Barbary Law studios here on that Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Thanks to our friends, WW Construction, The Diner, Block Electric, Brickner and Bunker, Farm Bureau Insurance, Dick Silva Auto Sales, along with Mount Pleasant Public Schools, Martinez Lawn Care, Bogwai Bang & Bradley, Powell Frame and Collision, Mount Pleasant Automotive, E&S Graphics, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, Weber Brothers Sawmill, Konwinski Construction, Blockco Pools and Spas, along with J&J Auto. Out there defensively now is a Maple City Glen Lake. In or on the bump is going to be Sully Atkins. Again, on the bump, in the circle. You get a little tripped up going from the baseball to the softball all the time. So pardon me if I goofed that up once or twice. Leading things off is going to be the speedy center fielder, Noah Zion. Right behind him, Brody Collin playing catcher. Then Tegan Duffy sitting in the 3 spot. Brady Davis hitting in the cleanup spot. He had 4 RBI earlier today in their win versus Rudyard. A couple last warm-up pitches out there for Atkins as we get ready to go here in the bottom of the first inning. Sacred Heart Academy hoping to answer back as Maple City Glen Lake put up 3 runs in the top of the first inning. That's right, bottom of the first, it's already 3-0. Maple City Glen Lake in front. Chris Bachman here with you at Tennyson Stadium, Central Michigan University. More shout-outs to our friends. Dance Again, Dresco Simon Shop in Wademan, CNC Enterprises, Isabella Community Sportsplex, Mount Pleasant Heating and AC, Smith & Sons, the Beale City Village Store, Sydney's Judges Bench, Dog Central, Barry Funeral Home, Boomer's Lawn Care, Doozy's Ice Cream Place. Sounds pretty darn good right now. Almost Up North and Stitches for Britches, Schaefer's Bait and Sporting Goods, Gross Farms and Brad Gross Electric, along with the Fisher Companies, Central Concrete, Central Asphalt and Fisher Transportation, and Kenneth Egger at DDS. It's about that time to start thinking about the lawn again. I've got 2 great sponsors that specialize in lawn care, Martinez Lawn Care and Boomer's Lawn Care. Either one of them you give a call. I highly recommend them both. Jared Martinez and Thomas McCann, big supporters here of the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. If you need your lawn mowed and the grass taken care of, want things to look better than they ever have before, give one of those guys a call at Boomer's Lawn Care or Martinez Lawn Care. 0-1 the count to Noah Zion as the first one is over from Sully Atkins. Next one's going to be lined up the middle. Again, with the speed of Zion, it's going to be a tough play at short. He's safe. He beats it out with an infield single. And that is just Zion using that elite speed right there. Hit a high bouncer. It's going to be tough to get him out once it takes two of those high bounces. That's exactly what happened. It was a good play from the shortstop position to charge it, cross second base, and make the throw over to first, but it just was not in time. And now Zion a big threat to steal out there as well. First pitch is going to be low, but a strike to Brody Collin. Excellent location there from Sully Atkins on that one. Atkins gets the sign, winds, deals. This one's going to be fouled back here off of the screen. Pretty much right in front of our broadcast position. So we're not straight back from home plate, but pretty much. Count now 0-2 to Brody Collin after the called strike and the foul off. Zion leading away from first base. Not going to go here. That one's going to be inside. It will get away from the catcher. That'll allow Zion to move up to second base easily. 1-2 now the count. A great eye from Brody Collin there. Always tough to take those close pitches when it's a really close one. 2 strikes. Did it there. Good eye. 1-2 now the count to Collin. At second base now is Noah Zion. So it's going to be lined towards second base. Great play out there at second. Over to first in time for the out. But a productive out for Brody Collin as he moves that runner up to third base. Not necessarily a sacrifice play there or anything. That's a good play by Levi Lamb out there at second for Maple City Glen Lake. Came in pretty hot on him. He was able to make it happen. Now stepping to the plate is Tegan Duffy with that runner at third base. High fly ball should score that run from third. Getting that outside corner call there is Sully Atkins. Just think of Sully from the movie with Tom Hanks a number of years ago. 3-0 Maple City Glen Lake with the lead. The Sacred Heart already threatening with a runner at third base. There's one out. 1-1 count to the number 3 hitter, Tegan Duffy. Got away from the catcher just a little bit, but Duffy, with the nice play at the plate to his teammate, telling Zion to hold off. Didn't get that far away for you to come in home. Here comes the 1-1 from Sully. It's going to be just missed the inside corner. So the Glen Lake fans liked it, but the umpire not so much. And as you always often hear me say, best seat in the house, brought to you by our friends, Woods Household Appliance in Clare. Here comes the 2-1. That one's going to be on the outside corner for the strike. 2-2 now the count. Zion still at third base. We've got one out here in the bottom of the first inning. Sacred Heart Academy trails Maple City Glen Lake 3-0. Atkins has the signal. Winds and deals with the 2-2. This one's going to be hit out towards center field. It's going to get down. Base hit and an RBI. Single for Mr. Tegan Duffy. Coming in from third base is Noah Zion. And the Irish are on the board. It's 3-1 Maple City Glen Lake with the lead here in the bottom of the first inning. But a runner on first base and the cleanup hitter, Brady Davis, coming to the plate. He's already had 4 RBI on the day. Gator Seiler also on deck. Heart of the order coming up here with a lot of power for Sacred Heart Academy. Brady Davis, Nate Gator Seiler, and then Hank McDonald right behind him. Davis batting from the left side, going up against the righty, Sully Atkins. Short lead from Tegan Duffy away from first. Here comes a grounder. It's going to get in between the first and second baseman. Duffy's going to take the turn at second and move up to third base. Here comes a throw across the diamond. Nice job stepping into the middle of the diamond by the shortstop from Maple City Glen Lake. That's Colton Newman to cut that one off. If he doesn't do so, it's going to allow Brady Davis to move up to second base. So a single from Davis. Now runners at the corners. One out, bottom of the first inning. And Nate Gator Seiler stepping to the plate. Playing shortstop for the Irish today. You'll see him on the hill. I don't know if he even gave up an earned run against Beale City last year. He was unbelievable. Showing steal is Brady Davis. Nice job behind the plate, not throwing it out to second base because that would have allowed Tegan Duffy to come in from first. Call that the old Brad Ancliffe play. Whenever Brad Ancliffe had runners at the corners back in the day, not always nowadays, so he always sends that guy from first out to second. Even if there's 2 outs, just get that runner in from third. Any way you can make it happen. Here comes the next pitch. It's going to hit the outside corner. 1-1 the count to Gator Seiler. Sully Atkins is really getting that outside corner going here in the early part of this ball game. Check the runners. Here comes the pitch. Just missing the outside corner it is this time. That one might have been a little low. 2-1 now, the count to Seiler. Hank McDonald on deck. Looking down to that third baseline is Seiler for the signal from Earl Hartman. Runners lead away from first and third. Here comes the pitch. That's going to be in the dirt. Great job keeping it there, but that will allow Brady Davis to move up to second base without a throw. So now runners at second and third for Gator Seiler. 1 out, bottom of the first inning. The Irish trail 3-1 against Maple City Glen Lake. Here comes the pitch. It's just going to miss. Seiler was ready for it to be a strike, but it will be a walk. Now the bases are loaded for Mr. Hank McDonald. 3-1 is the score. McDonald can change that with a swing of the bat as the bases are loaded. Big man step into the plate. McDonald on the bump. And I don't want to say he gave up those 3 runs out there. There's an error or 2 as well. Low outside corner for a strike, 0-1. But if you're McDonald, got a chance to kind of answer right back here. Couple practice swings for McDonald. He digs back in on the right side. The bases loaded of Irish. 0-1 a count. Going to check that runner at second base, but nobody home. Ooh, if Sully Atkins would have thrown that one, that would have been a big mistake. There was nobody there to catch it. Count remains 0-1. Seiler digs back in. Nico Vasquez on deck. This one's going to be fouled off. Pardon me, McDonald digs back in. That's Seiler. 0-2 now the count here. McDonald going to have to protect, and with 1 out and the bases loaded, you definitely want to put something in play here if you're McDonald. Allow that run to come in from third. Here comes the windup and the throw from Atkins. It's going to be a swing and a strike from McDonald. He goes down on swings. Big-time punch out there from Sully Atkins. The bases remain loaded as Nico Vasquez steps to the plate. The left fielder's got a lot of speed for Sacred Heart Academy. Again, want to make sure you put something in play here if you're Vasquez. As I say that, Atkins would love to get another punch out. It's 3-1 Maple City Glen Lake with the lead. We're in the bottom of the first inning. There's 2 outs. The bases are loaded with Nico Vasquez, the number 7 hitter, the left fielder at the plate. Here comes the 1-0 to Vasquez from Sully Atkins. It's going to be hit towards third. Not an easy play on the bounce, and a smart play over at third base. Not try and throw it across the diamond, and no, you've got the force out. Tanner Crick making that play. So the Irish do get 1 run across, but they leave 3 left on the base path. That could wind up being a big deal as we get late in this game. Going to take a break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Back with more Irish baseball right after this.
Weefridge Financial knows it can be incredibly overwhelming to navigate the world of financial planning. With trusted guidance and easy-to-understand advice, you can feel comfortable in your financial future with Weefridge Financial. Weefridge Financial assists people in all stages of life with a specialization in retirement and investment planning. Experience the power of working with an advisor dedicated to your success. Visit WeefridgeFinancial.com. Visit them in downtown Mount Pleasant. Call or text 989-953-7888. Weefridge Financial, member SIPC. The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, open every day but Sunday for lunch and dinner. Delicious pizza, the world-famous Bird Burger, handcrafted, fresh-baked subs, many apps, and much more. There's something for everyone at The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, where friends gather like family. The Bird, supporting high school sports in mid-Michigan for nearly 100 years.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Hank McDonald back out on the bump for the Irish boys. 3-1 Maple City Glen Lake with the lead. The Irish just did leave the bases loaded, though. Due up for Maple City Glen Lake, brought to you by our friends at Bill's Custom Fab, Gates Drawing and Service, and a Barberry Law. I guess I don't really know it because I got to get back to my phone here and get the picture of the roster that I got just moments before things even happen. It's like we've got Jacob Poplinski at the plate for Maple City Glen Lake. First one's going to be a little high. I think he's getting an inside. 1-0 the count. I think he's getting a little yell from his teammates to wear that one as he kind of jumped out of the way. Next one's also going to be high. 2-0 now the count to Jacob Poplinski. Poplinski, the number 8 hitter. Due up after him is going to be Ben Wassa, and then we're back to the top of the order with Sully Atkins. There's your due up, brought to you by our friends at Bill's Custom Fab, Gates Drilling and Service, and Barberry Law. That one's over for a strike count now, 3-1. Dowd's got the sign, winds, deals. It's just going to miss on the outside corner. Oh, boy. If you're Hank McDonald, you want that call out there on the bump. And it seemed like maybe your counterpart got that outside strike call a couple times in the last half inning. Here comes Ben Wassa, the number 9 hitter, to the plate. 3-1 Maple City Glen Lake with the lead in the top of the second inning here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Wassa digs in. McDonald set, ready to go. Want to bunt it, but a lot of gas on that one, and it's high. It's going to be fouled back by Wassa. Chris Bachman with you, Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Tennyson Stadium today on the campus of Central Michigan University. Kind of the type of day where I'm going back and forth between the jacket and taking the jacket off. Depends on that wind out there. 0-1 the count to Wassa. Runner at first base leads away. That's Poplinski. They check the runner. He's back in time. 3-1 Glen Lake with the lead over Sacred Heart Academy. First baseball action of the year for Maple City, other than scrimmage or two possibly. They were able to best Rudyard 7-1 in 6 innings. That game ended because of some time constraints. Quick throw out to second, and they got him. What a throw from Brody Cowlin, nabbing Jacob Poplinski as he looks to take second base. That'll be in the running for our Bill's Custom Fab fabrication of the game. Woo! That is a long throw out there for Colin. It was perfectly on line as well. Big time play there from behind the dish from Brody Colin. That was going to be on the inside corner. 1-2 now the count to Wassa for McDonald. And if you're McDonald and Brody Collin, whenever the other one of you is pitching, you always want to do extra good behind the dish because that's going to be your catcher. That one's inside, 2-2. So, for example, if Collins out on the dish, yeah, they're always trying hard behind the plate. But if it's Collin on the dish, it's McDonald behind the plate, and then vice versa. That one over for a strike. It's another punch out for Mr. Hank McDonald. Back to the top of the order here. 2 out, nobody on for Sully Atkins. Atkins singled, stole second, and came around to score on an RBI single. Again, you could call it an error from Tanner Crick as well, but he was the first run of the ball game to come around and come in. Back up to the dish here, second inning, already his second at-bat. That one's going to go over the head of the batter. That's what happens when fingers get a little cold. Can't quite get a good grip on the baseball for that bender. Sometimes it just floats on you. 2 out, nobody on, 1-0 the count. Leadoff hitter back at the dish for Maple City Glen Lake. Two 2-0 the count. That next one missed as well. Next pitch, that one's also going to bounce up there as well. 3-0 now the count to Sully Atkins. Again, could be pitching around him here. Colton Newman, who's on deck, did get fanned his first time up. 3-0 the count to Sully Atkins. Here comes the next pitch from Hank McDonald. It's in there for a strike. 3-1 now the count. Atkins taps the bat on the plate, digs back in from the right side, and is ready for the 3-1. It's going to be grounded towards third. Not an easy play. Nice job by Moore. Now a long throw over to first. Dug out by Brady Davis. What a play. And then the box score. That's just a ground out to third base. But in high school baseball, that was a tough play. Going to take a break. Be back with the bottom of the second inning right after this here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Brad Malley Well Drilling has proudly served Mid-Michigan since the early 1990s. We are family-owned with 3 licensed drillers and over 100 years of experience. We specialize in 5-inch PVC water wells and systems ranging from 2 to 12 inches. Every well we do includes a 5-year warranty and 1-year parts and labor guarantee. We are available 24/7, and you'll always talk to a real person. Call Brad Malley Well Drilling today for a free estimate. Trusted service, generation after generation.
Clark Modular Homes in Mount Pleasant are a one-stop shop from the buy, the build, and beyond with their fantastic service department. Stop in to see their selection and purchase options today on Pickard Road or visit them online at modularhomesbyclark.com. Clark Modular Homes, supporting Mid-Michigan youth in and out of the classroom.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to this Mid-Michigan Sports Network, coming to you live from our Barberry Law Studios, built by Conwincy Construction. Today we find ourselves at Central Michigan University at Tennyson Stadium for Sacred Heart Academy boys baseball, our first baseball game of the year. Weather goes well. Hopefully we'll have some softball Monday, and Jason McIntyre, if he's listening to this, hopefully plan on being there for some softball on Monday. We'll figure that out as the weather comes along, but it's tough putting out a schedule for the week right now of high school baseball and softball because, well, we live in mid-Michigan and it's April. 3-0 our score. Bottom of the second inning. Back out there in the circle on the bump is Mr. Sully Atkins. Caleb Strouk will be coming to the plate to lead things off for Sacred Heart Academy. It's 8-9-1 back to the top of the order. So you've got Caleb Strouk to DH. Then you got Jack Morrow batting in the 9 holes playing second base. Then it's back to the top of the order when Noah Zion, who led the game off with an infield single, stole second base and was able to score a run on an RBI single from Tegan Duffy. 3-1 our score. Bottom of the second inning. Sully Atkins, a couple more warm-up pitches. As he gets ready to roll. Caleb Strouk in the batter's box, or in the on-deck circle. Be the correct term for that, I guess, as it's an actual circle here at Central Michigan University. Comes the final warm-up pitch from Atkins. Throw down to second place, as you often see, whether it's baseball or softball, as we get ready for the action here. Strouk stepping to the plate on the right side. If you're Sacred Heart Academy, a long first inning defensively, but then a quick second inning. Kind of hope to keep that momentum going on your side here as you open up the bottom of the second with Caleb Strouk at the plate. First one's going to be inside for a ball. Strouk to DH. Jackson Moore playing over at third base. Saw him make a nice play in the last half of the inning. 3-1 the score. Glen with the lead over Sacred Heart Academy. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Strouk at the plate. He's going to line this one towards third. Not an easy play at third. Long throw as well. It will be in time for the out. Again, those plays that are lined hard towards third, and it's the long throw over. Nice play there from Tanner Crick at third base. See, he'll make a couple nice digs here in this ball game. Jack Morrow now stepping to the plate for Sacred Heart Academy. He might be hitting in the 9 spot, but very similar to Luke Hacker last year. Just essentially another leadoff hitter for you. It's the kind of guy who can really bat anywhere in the lineup. So you take that speed, put him at the bottom of the order, then give Zion a chance to drive in some runs. 0-1 accounts. Morrow took the first pitch. Here comes the second one from Sully Atkins. 3-1 our score here in the bottom of the second inning. That one just going to miss that outside corner. 1-1. And Zion on deck. Behind him is Brody Collin. Atkins got the signal. Winds and deals. This one's going to be smashed out towards right field. It's going to get down for hit. Again, the outfield is so big here at Central Michigan University. It's just tough to try and track things down. It was Poplinski or Wassa out in right field. They're playing so deep and so towards the middle. That was just a couple feet beyond the infield in the grass towards this foul line, but there's just so much ground to cover. Now here comes Noah Zion. Run around, 1 out. Bottom of the second inning. Lines this one towards short. A chance for 2 if Glen Lake can turn it. They get the first one, but not the second one. A really great play out there from the second baseman. That was Levi Lamb. Made sure he got the baseball secure. And then as he didn't really have time to make that throw over to first base. But again, a very intelligent play there from Lamb at second. You try and get that out. You sail it. Now Noah Zion's on second, maybe third base with his speed. Now it's Brody Collin at the plate. First pitch is going to be over to a strike for the catcher from Sacred Heart Academy, hitting in the number 2 spot. 3-1 Glen Lake with the lead. We're in the bottom of the second inning. The Irish, the runner on first base. It's Noah Zion after he reached via a fielder's choice. Brody Collin is at the dish. Remaining on the bump is Mr. Sully Atkins for Maple City Glen Lake. He has been pretty darn solid filling up the strike zone and has had some good defense behind him, particularly down that third baseline from Tanner Crick. Also with an RBI single, I believe it is, in this game as well. Stealing is Noah Zion. He got a great jump. You're not getting him. He slides in safely. So he reaches via the fielder's choice. Now he steals second base. Got a runner in scoring position now for Brody Collin if he can send one here to the outfield. His first at bat, he grounded out to second base. Count is 1-1 right now to Brody Collin. This one's going to be lined in between short and third. Rounding third. No, they're going to hold up Zion. Actually, they fumble the ball. Here comes the throw. It could be a close play. Sliding in is Zion. His second run of the ball game, and we're just in the second inning. Moving up to second base is Brody Collin on the RBI single for the senior. Now Tegan Duffy, fellow senior, stepping to the plate, has a chance to tie the ball game here if he sends one to the outfield. Because, again, he got a lot of speed with Brody Collin at second base. Actually, there's going to be a pinch runner, Walt McDonald, coming in to run for Brody Collin so he can get that catcher's gear back on. 3-2 now the score here. Crooked number for Glen Lake in the first, and a couple of ones now in the first and second for Sacred Heart Academy, but they're still threatening with a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. At the dish, the number 3 hitter, Tegan Duffy. He takes the first pitch for a strike. RBI single for Duffy, his first time up. Would love to drive in another here. Here comes the 0-1. It's going to be inside 1-1. 2 outs, runner on second base for Sacred Heart Academy. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Maple City Glen Lake leads it 3-2. Atkins checks the runner at second. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be low and inside. 2-1 now the count to the right fielder, Tegan Duffy, hitting in the number 3 spot. An RBI single his first time up. Chance to drive in another one here with 2 outs and that runner on second base. Tie the game as well, it would. 3-2. Glen Lake leads it. We're in the bottom of the second. 2-1 count. Check swing there for Duffy. They're going to say he went around. Shot to Aiden Mindell, Bogwai, Banga, and Bradley. Whole lot of 2s up there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the second inning, and a runner on second base. Here comes the pitch. That's just going to miss. 3-2. A great eye there from Tegan Duffy as that one just stayed high out of the strike zone near the neck area of Duffy. Here comes the payoff pitch. Big moment here. 3-2. Number 3 hitter. This one's going to be hit high towards the outfield. Not an easy play out there in center with that wind, but they will make the catch. So a runner is stranded at second base, but 1 run does come across. It's Noah Zion once again. 3-2 the score. Maple City Glen Lake with the lead, but Noah Zion with a couple runs across here, and McDonald much cleaner in the second inning. See how he looks at inning number 3 as we head back to it on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network after this break from our sponsors. You listen to high school baseball on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Bill's Custom Fab can handle any job you need, from large-scale steel building projects to fixing your favorite stainless serving pan. Bill's Custom Fab can weld and fabricate anything. Call today at 989-772-5817 or stop by on Gover Parkway in Mount Pleasant.
Jenna Gates
and Kyle Gates here. We are the fifth generation with Gates Drilling and Service.
We've been serving our friends and neighbors in Michigan since 1893.
We have the latest and greatest well drilling technology, allowing us to put in wells where others can't.
Lake lots and tight spaces are no problem.
From our family to yours, thank you, and call at 989-772-7841 for all your well drilling and service needs.
Gates Drilling and Service, where Gates goes, water flows.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. We do have a pitching change out there. Mentioned see what McDonald brings back, but he is out of the game. In at pitcher is Tegan Duffy, moving Hank McDonald over to first, moving Brady Davis out to left field. So not really a whole lot of changes here. Still pretty much the same the rest of the way around the dish. Still got Gator Seiler at short. Moore over at third, Morrow at second, Collin behind the plate, and in the outfield still Vasquez, Zion, well, now Brady Davis instead of Duffy. But you still got that really strong arm out in right field. Now instead of Tegan Duffy, it's Mr. Brady Davis. Stepping to the plate is Colton Newman here, top of the third inning. Segrart Academy trails Maple City Glen Lake 3-2, but they got some momentum right now with a run across in the second and a 0 in the second for Maple City Glen Lake. Here comes the first pitch from Tegan Duffy. It's going to be high, 1-0 the count. Spencer McNitt on deck, Tanner Crick behind him. Crick so far, our Zaid Batchelder baller of the game for Glen Lake, with an RBI single and a couple nice plays over at third base. He also scored a run as well. Second one is also going to miss high and inside for Duffy, 2-0 now the count. Duffy winds and deals. That one will be over for a strike. 2-1 now the count. Here comes the next pitch from Tegan Duffy. That one's also going to miss high. 3-1 now the count. Three and one, swing and a miss there. Count now runs full to Colton Newman. Newman 0 for 1 on the day. Here comes the 3-2. That one's going to be fouled off the netting. Hard hit as well from Colton Newman. Be the seventh pitch of the at-bat upcoming here. Here comes the 3-2. Outside corner for a strike. Woo, woo, woo. Great location there from Tegan Duffy. McNitt now stepping to the plate. He walked his first time up. It was a great at-bat. First pitch is going to be fouled off to the backstop. Tanner Crick on deck. Our score, 3-2, Maple City Glen Lake in front. We're in the top of the third inning. Chris Bachman here with you on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, coming to you live from our Barberry Law Studios, built by Conwinson Construction, here at Tennyson Stadium today on the campus of Central Michigan University. That one over for a strike. 0-2 now the count. Duffy looking for the punch-out of the number 3 hitter, Spencer McNitt. Maybe he's got one to waste here if he wants. That one's going to be way inside. Actually, they're going to say it caught a piece of McNitt. So it's going to be a hit by pitch on the 0-2 count there to put a runner on with one out here in the top of the third inning. Stepping to the plate is Tanner Crick. Again, he had an RBI single his first time up for Maple City Glen Lake. Short lead over at first for McNitt. Duffy winds and deals. First one's going to miss outside, 1-0. Brady Turner on deck. He walked his first time up. 3-2. Maple City Glen Lake in front. We're in the top of the third inning. Checking the runner over at first base is Tegan Duffy. Diving back in time is McNitt. Gonna check him once again with a quick throw over there. But back in time once again is McNitt. So if you're Duffy, Collin behind the plate, Probably saw him leaning on that last pitch. Make sure he can't extend that lead. That one's going to miss. 2-0 now, the count to Tanner Crick. You're not seeing either of the aces in this ball game, Gator Seiler or Brady Davis. You want to save them for conference play, try and win that conference championship and have them ready to go come playoff time. That one also misses. Now 3-0 the count to Tanner Crick. Got Brady Turner on deck. Crick at the plate playing third base. Done a nice job over there on the hot corner. Also has the RBI single. That one is over for a strike. Count now 3-1. Got one out. Top of the third inning. 3-2 Maple City Glen Lake in front. Here comes the next pitch from Duffy. That one's going to be fouled out of play. That'll run the count full to 3-2. Nice job here battling back on the bump from Mr. Tegan Duffy. It's a 3-0 count. Now he's got it to 3-2, a chance for the punch out here. All right, first base leads away, trying to dance, trying to make things difficult out of the corner of the eye for Tegan Duffy. Pitch comes in, it's going to be hit hard out towards right field. Not an easy play for Brady Davis. He goes into foul territory, diving for it, almost comes up with it as he dives into the dirt here at Tennyson Stadium, but we will do it again. It's just a dramatic long strike there from Tanner Crick. Great effort there from Brady Davis. Going in and diving. Well, I guess it looks like dirt, but it's still turf here at Central Michigan University. 3-2 the count. Big moment in this ball game right now. Got one of your better hitters at the plate if you're Glen Lake. It's a full count, runner on first base and one out. You lead it by one. Top of the third inning. 3-2 Glen Lake in front. Here comes the pitch to Crick. It's going to be lined towards second. Nice job by Morrow. Flips it to Seiler. Now to first, looking to get the double play. Nice job being it out by Crick, but you do get the lead runner. So it's going to be a fielder's choice for Tanner Crick. And that was a big out. Great play from second base from Jack Morrow to get the lead runner. And then you've got that sizzle of Seiler, and that arm almost sent it over to first base in time for the inning ending. Pardon me, let's slow it down. The inning ending double play. Turner digs in. Runner at first, two outs. Checking that runner once again is Duffy. After Brady Turner, you got Fletcher Middleton due up. Turner walked his first time up. Middleton struck out. They both saw full counts in the first inning. Nice bender there from Duffy. Is going to be over for a strike, 0-1. Short lead for the runner at first base as McDonald is holding him on. So one's going to be hit high towards the outfield. McDonald trying to track it down in foul territory. Gets underneath it, pops it up, and brings it in. A little tip to myself as he brings in the catch. What a play from McDonald in foul territory. If it would have hit the ground, it would not have been that big a deal anyway, but he somehow comes up with the catch. What a play from Hank McDonald in foul territory to come up with the out, dealing with the win. We're going to take a break. Back with the bottom of the third inning right after this. Sacred Heart Academy due up here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Mount Pleasant Automotive on Mission has been serving local auto shops and do-it-yourselfers since 1988. Mount Pleasant Automotive is locally owned and carries all the auto part, car care products, and auto maintenance supplies you will need. Visit them online at mtpleasantautomotive.com. Mount Pleasant Automotive, caring for our cars and our local student athletes. Konwinski Construction offers a full range of construction services on small and large projects. Konwinski Construction is a leader in the community and are proud to support those student athletes who will be leading our community tomorrow. Konwinski Construction on Gover Parkway, Mount Pleasant.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to Tennyson Stadium, where you find our Barbary Law Studios built by Konwinski Construction on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. 3-2, Maple City Glen Lake leads it as we head to the bottom of the third inning, but maybe a little bit of momentum heading Sacred Heart Academy's way after the fantastic catch in foul territory from Hank McDonald. Brady Davis leading it off. Nate Gator, Seiler, and Hank McDonald, 4, 5, 6, a due up for Sacred Heart Academy, brought to you by our friends at the Maryland Chapman Memorial Fund, GNS Mechanical, Hanging by a Thread, Pure Plumbing, and All Seasons Fireworks. Also, more love going out to our friends, Barbary Law, Gates Drilling and Service, Bill's Custom Fab, the Bird All-American Grill, Our post-game show sponsor, the only place you'll ever find this guy post-game, and it's the Burt All-American Grill in downtown Mount Pleasant. Also love the Clark Modular Homes, Weefridge Financial, Woods Household Appliance, Brad Malley Well Drilling, Malley Construction, along with our friends at J&J Auto, Blocko Pools and Spas, Conwinski Construction, Weber Brothers Sawmill, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, ENS Graphics, Mount Pleasant Automotive, along with Bryce Updegraff, Joe Wentworth, Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates. Sully Atkins remains in the game for Maple City Glen Lake on the bump. 3-2 the score. Bottom of the third inning. Heart of the order coming up for Sacred Heart Academy. Brady Davis singled, stole second base before he was stranded back in the first inning. Gator Seiler walked before he was stranded back in the first inning. The Irish left 3-0 on the base path in the first, 1 on the base path in the second. 3-2 is the score here in the bottom of the third inning. Maple City Glen Lake themselves left 1 on in the first, 1 on here in the third. Bottom of the third at the dish. Brady Davis, he had 4 RBI in the first game earlier today. He's 1 for 1 so far today with a stolen base. Think about that. Zaid Batchelder, baller of the day. Brady Davis definitely in the running with the 4 RBI versus Rudyard, but we're looking for the Zaid Batchelder baller of the game in this one, brought to you by Weefridge Financial. Still very, very much in doubt. Here comes the pitch. A hard shot towards third. It's going to be a single for Brady Davis. There was no way Crick was going to be able to come up with that one. Just a shot past third base there. That is why they call it the hot corner. But it's usually the righties hitting it that way as Brady Davis kind of goes opposite field, as they say in the pros, to get the hit there. 3-2 the score. Runner on first base is Brady Davis. A great chance here for the Irish to possibly tie this game or take the lead. The leadoff runner on in the heart of the order. And one's going to bounce up there. Great job keeping things in front of him from the catcher, McNitt. Say with the speed of Davis, it bounces away just a little bit. It's going to allow Brady Davis to take second base. Might just take it anyway. He's going as I say that. Here comes the throw. It's going to be high going into the outfield. But nice coverage out there in center field. It will not allow Brady Davis to take third base. Now, if you're Brady Davis, again, you got quite the record to go after with Mr. Grady Peratt breaking the all-time stolen bases record and the season stolen bases record last year. I wonder, we up 60-something. We'll see if Brady Davis can try and match that number this year. That one's going to be on the outside corner, 1-2 now, the count to Nate Gator Seiler. The all-sports superstar hitting the number 5 spot for Sacred Heart Academy here on this afternoon. Sully Atkins has the signal from behind the plate. He winds and deals. That one's going to be inside. Count now 2-2. Great eye there from Nate Seiler. Like he's a pitcher or something. Saying with Sacred Heart Academy, I don't think there's any doubt you'll go across the state and ask in Division IV who's got the best 1-2 punch. It is this Irish team with Gator Seiler throwing mid-90s as a junior, and Brady Davis, the crafty lefty, he's hitting high 80s, might be hitting 90s as well. Seiler fouls this one off just to stay alive at the plate. Count remains 2-2. This will be pitch number 6 of the at-bat upcoming for Gator Seiler. There's a runner on second base for the Irish. Still nobody out here, bottom of the third inning. Maple City Glen Lake leads it 3-2. Scored 3 in the top of the first inning, been blanked the last 2 innings. The Irish have scored 1 run in each inning. Here comes the 2-2. That bounces up there. Will allow Brady Davis to move up to third base. Great job by Brady Davis on the base path. Still nobody out. He single has now stolen 2 bags. Chance for Seiler to drive in a run here with some ease. See a ground ball deep into the infield. See, don't got that force out at home. Makes it a lot more difficult. This one's going to be lined down the first baseline, but it goes foul for Seiler. 2-2 remains the count. A couple foul balls as well here now for Seiler. This will be pitch number 7 of the at-bat upcoming here for the Sacred Heart Academy. Oh, sports superstar, Mr. Nate Gator Seiler. Here comes the payoff pitch. So it's going to be popped up. Again, not an easy play. It's on the infield at second base. They will make the catch.
Nice play out there from Levi Lamp coming up with that one. So Seiler eventually pops up, but a really good at-bat there. Runner at third base now for Hank McDonald. McDonald's first time at the dish, struck out. Donald digs in. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be hit up towards the middle. It's going to get through the shortstop's legs, and the run comes in. RBI single for Mr. Hank McDonald. Again, the box score might have that one as an error, but your boy's always ruling it as an RBI single. We're now tied at 3 apiece here in the bottom of the third inning as the Irish come back from 3 runs down to tie it up. Nico Vasquez now at the plate. Hank McDonald over at first. McDonald's a big guy, but for a big guy, he's got a ton of speed out there. First pitch is going to be over for a strike to Nico Vasquez. Caleb Strzok, the DH on deck. Ground out to third base his first time up. Vasquez was out on a 1-0 count. That one's going to be in the dirt outside. Nice job by McNitt keeping it in front of him, not allowing Hank McDonald to take second base. 1-1 count, 1 out, bottom of the third inning. The Irish with 1 run across in each inning. We're tied at 3 as Glen Lake scored 3 on the top of the first. Next pitch, it's going to be a swing and a miss for Vasquez as he was swinging for the fences on that one. And Caleb Strzok on deck for Sacred Heart Academy. Runner at first base is Hank McDonald. He takes a short lead. Here comes the next pitch from Atkins. It's going to be hit hard down the third baseline. It will go foul. Say with the speed of Vasquez, that definitely would have been extra bases if it had stayed fair. 1-2 remains the count. Vasquez digs back in. Atkins winds and deals with the 1-2. Swing and a miss. It's a punch out. Vasquez going down on strikes. That's the second strikeout of the game for Sully Atkins. Atkins has thrown 52 pitches thus far. So he can go to what? I think it's 105 in the game if he stays out there for the entire time. Strzok now stepping in. 2 outs, runner on first base. It's Hank McDonald after his RBI single. We're tied at 3 apiece in the bottom of the third inning. Sacred Heart Academy and Maple City Glen Lake. They're going to call a balk on that one, which will allow Hank McDonald to move up to second base. That pitch did not count. Actually, to say the umpire make sure things get settled down here. Say, will it be? Waiting to see what the count might be here. But now with a runner in scoring position, it's Caleb Strzok. So they do call the balk. The pitch will not count. Remains a countless count, 0-0. 2 outs, runner at second base. Chance for the Irish to take the lead if Strzok can drive one to the outfield. He does drive this one, but it's going to be foul out of play down the first baseline. 0-1 the count. The big DH, Caleb Strzok. Behind him is Jack Morrow. Then it's back to the top of the order with Noah Zion, who scored 2 runs. Reached base on an infield single in the first and on a fielder's choice in the second. Was able to come around and score both times he was on the base path. Now look to check that runner at second. Back in time is Hank McDonald. Actually, no throw from Sully Atkins as well because McDonald did a good job of reading it. When you're at second base, you've got that shortstop or the second base kind of runs behind you. They'll smack that glove, try and make you nervous. McDonald right at that time was able to get back easily. Good location for that one. It's over for a strike. 0-2 now the count to Caleb Strzok. Strzok digs back in. Just drive in the go-ahead run here with a hit to the outfield. That one's going to be outside. Good eye there from Strzok. 1-2 now the count. 3-3 is the score. Morrow on deck. Strzok at the plate. Runner at second, Hank McDonald. Sully Atkins has been out there the entire game for Maple City Glen Lake. So one's going to hit right up the middle for a base hit. Hank McDonald charging around third. Here comes the throw home. It's going to be right on target, but he's going to slide around it. What a play from Hank McDonald to come in for the run. The Irish go up 4-3 here in the bottom of the third inning on the RBI single from the DH, Caleb Strzok. Big time hitting there from Strzok.
took that one right up the middle for a base hit, bounced right in front of the Flying C logo out in center field here at Tennyson Stadium to put the Irish up 4-3, and that will be in the running for our Bills custom fabrication of the game as it gives the Irish their first lead of the ball game. Morrow now steps into the right side of the dish, swings and misses at the first pitch. Looked like it might have been a little inside there. So the Irish with a crooked number here in the bottom of the third inning to take the 4-3 lead. Glen Lake scored all three of their runs back in the top of the first inning. Seems like a long time ago now. Here comes the next pitch. That one's going to be low. 1-1 to count. Noah Zion awaits on deck. Love to have an opportunity here with a couple runners on. Morrow digging in from the right side, swinging the bat over his right shoulder. Going to hit this one up the middle. It's a slow roller towards short. Flip to second base for the third out. That will get them out of the inning. However, 2 runs come across, 1 more left on base. But if you're the Irish, you're feeling a lot better about everything now because you're now in the lead. 4-3 as we head to inning number 4 at Sacred Heart Academy. Maple City, Glen Lake here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Back with more right after this.
Weber Brothers Sawmill has been in the sawmill and logging business since 1950. Weber Brothers Sawmill buys standing timber and logs all over central and northern Michigan with National Hardwood Lumber Association certification. You can be assured of a professional job, from the marking and cruising of your woods through the harvest. Weber Brothers Sawmill is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes.
J&J Auto in Wademan is Mid-Michigan's elite automotive repair shop. J&J Auto offers complete collision repair and mechanical repair. Stop by on Wademan Road or call them today at 989-644-8908. J&J Auto, proud supporters of high school student athletes. Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to the Mid-Michigan Sports Network and inside our Barberry Law Studios built by Conwinski Construction. Today, our Barberry Law Studios are actually just outside of the press box here at Central Michigan University's Tennyson Stadium. Say, in the press box, the window's only open like way, way up top. And where I would have been broadcasting the game, it actually been pretty darn warm in there. And as you've heard me say a couple times, kind of the type of weather where you're going back and forth from the jacket to no jacket, this, that, and the other. So you've still got the jacket on right now, but still think a lot nicer here outside than it would have been inside. And then just don't get that natural baseball sound as well if you can't have those big open windows in the press box. 4-3 Sacred Heart Academy with the lead. Tegan Duffy will remain on the bump for Sacred Heart Academy. Big moment here, I feel like, for Maple City Glen Lake. You trail for the first time in this ball game. Stepping up here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Leading things off is going to be Fletcher Middleton. Duffy has got the sign, winds and deals. Bender is going to be back over for a strike. What a pitch right there. Had Middleton bending back out of the way like it was going to hit him and then dropped in for a strike. What a pitch there from Duffy. Here comes the 0-2. This one's going to be fouled on the first baseline. Nice job by Middleton just staying alive on that one. Collin behind the dish, gets a baseball from the umpire, sends it back out to Duffy. We'll do the 0-2 again. 4-3 Irish in front, top of the 4th inning. That one's going to miss outside. Trying to turn up the heat on that one was Duffy. He's lost a little bit of that control. Here comes the 1-2 from Duffy. It's going to be popped towards center. Not an easy play out there. Zion will gather himself underneath it, right on the Flying C logo. Going to be a fly out to center field. Now heading to the plate is Jacob Poplinski. Poplinski walked his first time up for Maple City Glen Lake. Poplinski, the DH. Got Wilson playing out in center field for him. So it's going to be hit hard towards first. Nice job by McDonald gathering it. He'll take it to first for the out on his own. Now here comes Jacob Poplinski to the plate. Again, he walked, got out via A throw-out from Brody Collin behind the plate. Talk about the Bills' custom fab fabrication of the game. You got the McDonald catch. You got Strout driving in the go-ahead run. But also the throw-out from behind the plate from Brody Collin, something I can't forget about. Just a long ways away to throw that ball from behind the plate down to second base. You don't believe me? Next time you see a baseball field, go give it a shot and see how on target you are. First one's going to miss to Poplinski. Second one also misses. It kind of bounces up there. It's a great job by Collin keeping it in front of him. However, nobody on, though, so it was going to bounce away. This would be the time for it, I'll say. Here comes the 2-0. That one's over for a strike on the Bender. 2-1 now the count. Much love to our friends. Dick Silva Auto Sales, Brickner and Bunker, Farm Bureau Insurance. They just saved me a bunch of money. Block Electric, The Diner, WW Construction, All Seasons Fireworks, Pure Plumbing, the official embroiderer of the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, hanging by a thread, G&S Mechanical, and our friends at the Maryland Chapman Memorial Fund. Also, Powell Frame and Collision, Bogoy Bang and Bradley, Martinez Lawn Care, and Mount Pleasant Public Schools. That one will bounce up there. It's going to run the count full to 3-2. We've got one out, top of the fourth inning. Sacred Heart Academy on top of Maple City Glen Lake. Glen Lake scored 3 in the first. The Irish 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third to take the lead back. There's a swing and a miss. It's a punch out and a 1-2-3 inning for the Irish. Due up for our friends at Sacred Heart Academy. Brought to you by our friends at Weefrich Financial, Woods Household Appliance, Brad Malley Well Drilling, and Malley Construction. We have got the top of the order. Noah Zion, Brady Collin, and Tegan Duffy due up for the Irish right after this.
Value is not just a price. When you buy something for your home, it's an investment. Knowing that you're getting a great deal and service after the sale is priceless. At Woods Household, we only carry quality products for your home at competitive prices. Furniture that is attractive and durable. Comfortable mattresses that last for years. Flooring that stands up to wear and tear. These are all products that last by trusted name brands like FlexSteel, Serta, Whirlpool, and many more. So shop the Woods way.
Blocko Pools and Spas is Mid-Michigan's #1 pool and hot tub destination that will turn your old space into your #1 destination. From delivery of a full pool for the family to the relaxing hot tub for after work for mom and dad, Blocko Pools and Spas does it all. Stop by their showroom on Remus Road to check out their beautiful selection of hot tubs and learn how you can build the pool of your dreams.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Sully Atkins back out on the bump for Maple City Glen Lake. He's done a pretty solid job. 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third against this really potent Sacred Heart Academy offense is not really all that bad. Here's what the Irish have done this year. They beat Sheboygan 16-1 twice. Then they beat Breckenridge 20-3 and 5-3. Then bested Rudyard earlier today 14-0. So 4 runs through 3 innings. Not really all that bad from Sully Atkins. Zion will lead things off for the Irish. He's 1 for 2 on the day. He's reached base both times at the plate, though. Second one via fielder's choice. He's came around to score a run both times. He's been able to reach base. Bottom of the fourth inning. The Irish lead it 4-3 over Maple City Glen Lake. Glen Lake jumped out to a quick 3-0 lead in the first inning. The Irish took the lead back in the bottom of the third. Now here we are in the bottom of the fourth, seeing if they can add to that 1-run lead. First one misses. Second one also misses inside to Noah Zion. Zion's already stolen 2 bases today. With his speed, you cannot walk him. You got to make him get on base. Brody Collin due up next, who's 1 for 2 on the day with a ground out and an RBI single. That one's over for a strike. 2-1 now the count to Zion. Zion with a quick ask of the umpire where that one was in the zone. Make sure it knows exactly where that strike zone is for this next pitch. Here comes a 2-1. A lot of smoke on that one from Sully, but it's going to miss low and run the count to 3-1. And the last thing you want to do is put Zion off as the leadoff hitter, and especially without making him earn it. Here comes the pitch from Sully. 3-1 the count. Big cut that time from Zion. Swing, well, fences are a long way here. 330 down the foul poles, 375, 400 out to center field, left and right center. 3-2 the count. Here comes the pitch to Zion. He's going to ground this one towards second. Again, that high chopper, he's going to be tough to get with his speed. He has to come off the bag at first base, does the first baseman. That was Brady Turner. If Turner didn't come off the bag, he wasn't going to be able to field it. And so, again, I rule that as a single. It's going to be an error in most box scores, but a tough play. As I mentioned, that high chopper trying to get the speed eating Noah Zion at first. Zion now leads away. He's already taken second base 2 times here today. First pitch is going to miss inside to Brody Collin. Collin 1 for 2 on the day. He just drove in Zion back in the second inning. That's actually going to plunk him. And so, going up to second, heard of we're going to doozies. Must have been from Brody's dad after he wore that one. A little bit of ice cream. Trying to think of the correct word. Ice cream achievement, I will say, for wearing the pitch there. Now at the plate is Tegan Duffy with runners on first and second. That one's going to bounce up there. It's only a 1-run game, but the Hackers are feeling very, very confident as they head out of here. 4-3 the score. Shot Trent Hacker, son Luke Hacker playing football down at Trine with a Jackson Verlegger. That one's going to hit the outside corner. 1-2 now the count. It's Tegan Duffy. 4-3 Irish in front. Nobody out here. Bottom of the 4th inning. Got your number 3 hitter at the plate with runners on first and second base. Atkins winds the deals. That one's going to be in the dirt. Great job by McNitt to keep that in front of him. 2-2 now the count to Duffy. On deck is Brady Davis. He's 2 for 2 on the day with a pair of singles. You do not want him coming up with bases loaded. This is a very important at-bat right here for Sully Atkins and Maple City Glen Lake. Already trailing 4-3 here in the bottom of the 4th. Couple runners out. Here comes a high fly ball. It's going to be caught by the second baseman. What a play out there from Levi Lamb to come up with that one on the run with his over-the-shoulder catch. You see that in football, not a lot in baseball. Now heading to the plate is Brady Davis. Looks like we might have a pitching change happening here. That was the 71st pitch for Atkins, and it does look like we'll have a pitching change. So we'll send it out to, one of our longer breaks here to give them a chance to warm up. However, if there's a chance that things get cut off or something, shout out to my sponsors who will possibly cut things off in the middle of the break. But we've got a pitching change happening right now for Maple City Glen Lake. At the dish will be Mr. Brady Davis with runners on first and second when we come back. All right. After this.
Hi, I'm Attorney Joe Barbary. Just like doctors specialize in areas of medicine, at Barbary Law, we specialize in getting you the best possible results. If you've been injured by someone else's negligence, you owe it to yourself and your family to call our legal team. At Barbary Law, we focus on one thing, and that's getting you the compensation you deserve. Every case we take personally.
My attorney is Joe Barbary, he can be yours too.
Konwinski Construction offers a full range of construction services on small and large projects. Konwinski Construction is a leader in the community and are proud to support those student athletes who will be leading our community tomorrow. Konwinski Construction on Gover Parkway, Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant Automotive on Mission has been serving local auto shops and do-it-yourselfers since 1988. Mount Pleasant Automotive is locally owned and carries all the auto part, car care products, and auto maintenance supplies you will need. Visit them online at mtpleasantautomotive.com. Mount Pleasant Automotive, caring for our cars and our local student athletes. Bogwai Banga and Bradley on Main Street in Mount Pleasant provides uncompromising integrity when providing tax and accounting services to individuals and small businesses in the Mid-Michigan area. Bogwai Banga and Bradley has an expert CPA ready to help you, whether you're an individual that needs help with taxes or a business that needs help with, just about everything. Bogwai Banga and Bradley is a leader in the community and a proud supporter of local high school sports. Visit them online at bwbpc.com or stop into their office on Main Street in downtown Mount Pleasant.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Again, big shout out to our friends Joe Wentworth, Bryce Updegraff, Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman, and Associates. So we get back to the action here. Crick is in to throw the game now. At the dish is Brady Davis. First pitch is going to be over for a strike from Tanner Crick. Davis already 2 for 2 on the day with an RBI. Chance to add to that RBI total here. He's already stolen 2 bases as well. Great game for Brady Davis. Mentioned he had 4 RBI earlier as well. That's a nice little Saturday for Mr. Davis. 6 RBI now he's got. Whew. That one's going to miss. And as I look back, he didn't drive in the 2 runs. RBI single for Duffy, Colin earlier, but 2 for 2 on the day for Davis. Drove in 4 earlier today. Chance to drive in a run here. 1-1 the count. 1 out, bottom of the 4th inning. The Irish lead at 4-3 with runners on first and second and their cleanup hitter at the plate. It's going to get away from the catcher. That allows Zion to take third and allows Colin to take second. So now a pair of runners in scoring position for Mr. Brady Davis. This inning started off with Zion singling. It was a hit by pitcher Brody Colin. Tegan Duffy popped out to second base. 2-1 to count. Davis digs back in. Winding and dealing is Crick. That one's going to be really high. McNitt does a good job of gathering that one. 3-1 the count. Nate Seiler on deck. He's technically 0 for 1 on the day, but he does have a walk as well. Popped out his last time up on the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Here comes a 3-1 to Davis. I say that because you do not want to walk Davis and load the bases for Gator Seiler. Here comes the 3-1. That will bounce up there. It's going to get away from the catcher. Zion is in with his 3rd run of the ball game. Moving up to 3rd is Brody Colin. And it's a walk for Brady Davis. So now runners at the corners with 1 out. And Gator Seiler stepping to the plate. He walked in the 1st inning and was stranded. Popped out for the 1st out of the 3rd inning. And Brady Davis has now reached base all 3 plate appearances here this afternoon. Brody Colin, the lead away from 3rd. Seiler steps out of the way of that one, 1-0. Actually taking second base as well is Brady Davis, his 3rd stolen base of this game. Again, watch out, Grady Perratt. I wonder if he's trying to come after that record that Perratt set last year, breaking his father's stolen base record. 1-0 the count. That one's going to miss inside. 2-0 now the count to Seiler. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. Already 1 run across here in the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 5-3 Irish with the lead in the bottom of the 4th. They've scored every inning. 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, and already 1 here in the 4th. Runners at the corners threatening. Big swing and a miss that time from Seiler on the 2-0. Seiler step out of the batter's box, take a big practice cut. So look down, Coach Hartman. Get the signal for him. 2-1 the count to Seiler, 1 out. Bottom of the 4th inning. Irish lead at 5-3. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Seiler's going to foul this one off down the 3rd baseline. 2-2 now the count. So Crick came into the game to face Brady Davis. Eventually surrendered a walk to him. Wild pitch allowed the run to come in from 3rd. 5-3 the Irish in front here. 2-2 the count to Seiler. Still runners at 2nd and 3rd and just 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Hank McDonald on deck for the Irish. This one hit hard towards 3rd. It's going to eat up the 3rd baseman. Should allow a run to come in, and both runners move up as well. Coming in to score is Brody Colin. Moving up to 3rd is Brady Davis with the single. It is Gator Seiler, the RBI single for Gator Seiler. Now Hank McDonald stepping to the plate. His last time at the dish, he had an RBI single and was able to come around and score. The Irish trying to open things up a little bit here now as they lead at 6-3. Bottom of the 4th inning, 1 out. Runners on the corners. Hank McDonald at the dish. First one's going to miss inside. Nico Vasquez is on deck. He's 0 for 2 so far on the day. McDonald awaits the 1-0. It's going to be on the outside corner, 1-1 now the count to Hank McDonald. Started this game on the bump for Sacred Heart Academy. Gave a couple runs in that first, but a couple errors out there possibly as well. So a great job at the plate, though. 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI single. So struck out a few batters on the bump as well. Solid performance out there all the way around for Hank McDonald in this one. 6-3 Irish in front. Check the runners. Now we got time here at the plate. Down steps back in. Crick is ready to go once again. 1-1 the count. 1 out. Runners on the corners for Hank McDonald. Bottom of the 4th inning. The Irish lead at 6-3. Already 2 runs across here. This one's going to get away from the catcher. Coming in to score from third base is Brady Davis. His second run of the ball game. Moving up to second is Gator Seiler. 7-3 now Irish in front. Crick really taking his time walking back to the mound right now. Trying to gather those thoughts. Now he's going to bend down to tie the shoe here for a moment. Hank McDonald at the dish. Brady Davis just came in to score on the pass ball. Now runner at second, still somebody to drive in if you're McDonald with Gator Seiler out there. Nico Vasquez on deck. 2-1 the count to Hank McDonald. Crick has a sign, he throws, and it's going to plunk McDonald. Woo! McDonald's a lot tougher than I am as that one plunked him right below the armpit. I would be thriving in pain at the plate, but McDonald, he doesn't even shrug it off. He just really heads down to first base like it didn't hit him. Now heading back out to the bump is Chris Herman. We could have another pitching change possibly here, and it does look like that will be the scenario. Will give me another chance to send it out to another commercial break. Again, kind of the same scenario as last time. Pardon me to, was it Joe Wentworth that had cut off his commercial in the middle, but getting in all the breaks we can here. Baseball not built for these broadcasts exactly. Irish lead at 7-3. They're still threatening in the bottom of the 4th inning. They've got 3 across already. Back with more Irish baseball right after this. Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Weaveridge Financial knows it can be incredibly overwhelming to navigate the world of financial planning. With trusted guidance and easy-to-understand advice, you can feel comfortable in your financial future with Weaveridge Financial. Weaveridge Financial assists people in all stages of life with a specialization in retirement and investment planning. Experience the power of working with an advisor dedicated to your success. Visit WeaveridgeFinancial.com. Visit them in downtown Mount Pleasant. Call or text 989-953-7888. Weaveridge Financial, member SIPC. Martinez Painting, Central Michigan's trusted painting professionals. They specialize in both interior and exterior jobs for your home and business. No matter how big or how small the job, they transform any space with quality and precision. Learn more by visiting Martinez Painting on Facebook today or give them a call at 989-317-5536. All Seasons Fireworks is a big fan of all the athletes, coaches, officials, and volunteers who make high school sports happen. To make your next event bigger and brighter, stop by All Seasons Fireworks on M20 in Mount Pleasant. Graduations, birthdays, weddings, or a big win become more memorable underneath a night sky lit up by the magic of fireworks. All Seasons Fireworks on M20 in Mount Pleasant. When your team or business needs to look good, don't get left hanging. Call or stop by Hanging by a Thread in Wademan, the official embroiders for the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Hanging by a Thread, a proud supporter of local schools.
GNS Mechanical in Wademan offers service and installation on everything for your home and business. From a simple filter replacement to furnace, central air service, and install, geothermal, and walk-in coolers and freezers. If you have a need, GNS Mechanical has a solution. Learn more at gnsmechanical.com or call 989-644-2106.
Imagine a home that reflects your style. With WW Construction, that dream will be.
Welcome back to it. A big shout out to Wes Wilson at WW Construction. Got to get back to it here. Vasquez at the plate. Runners at first and second. It's going to get away from the catcher. Moving up to third base is Gator Seiler. Staying at first is Hank McDonald. He didn't get a great jump, so decided to hold off. Runners at the corners. 1 out. Bottom of the fourth inning, 7-3, Sacred Heart Academy with the lead. Scored one in the first, one in the second, then two in the third, and now already three here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Second pitching change of the inning as well. This one's going to be popped up out of play right in front of the press box here at Tennyson Stadium and Central Michigan University. 1-1 now the count to Nico Vasquez. There's 0 for 2 on the day. Vasquez playing out in left field. Just a ton of speed out there when you've got Vasquez, Duffy, and Noah Zion all playing in the outfield. Here comes the 1-1. That's going to bounce up there. That will allow McDonald to take second base. A smart play from behind the plate by McNitt, not trying to throw that runner out at second, as it was definitely allowed Seiler to come in from third with his speed. 2-1 now the count to Nico Vasquez. Caleb Strauch awaits on deck. This one's going to be ripped towards third. Not an easy play. They look to go home for the tag. Sliding in safely is Gator Seiler. A risk there to go home to try and get the tag out as opposed to a force out at first. It does not work out. So now just still one out remaining here in the bottom of the fourth inning, and it's 8-3. 4 across here in the fourth for the Irish. Strauch heading to the plate with runners at first and second. Strauch had an RBI single his last time up. Grounded out to third his first time at the plate. First one is going to miss, 1-0. Behind Strauch is Jack Morrow, who's 1 for 2 on the day. Then it's back to the top of the order with Noah Zion. If you're Glen Lake, you do not want to see the top of the order here. That one's going to miss. 2-1 now the count to Vasquez. Actually, it's now McNitt on the bump, not behind the plate for Maple City Glen Lake. So kind of chase around these changes here. McNitt ready to deal. 2-0 the count, 1 out. Bottom of the fourth inning, already 4 runs across for the Irish. Strauch takes that one, 2-0. Strauch should get something to hit here if you're Sacred Heart Academy. Runners on first and second. Lead away for Hank McDonald at second. Vasquez at first. Three and 1. Now the count to Strauch. That one's going to be in there for a strike. That'll run the count full to 3-2. McNitt ready with the 3-2. Strauch's going to foul this one off and stay alive. Great at bat here for Caleb Strauch. More love going out to our friends. Bryce Updegraff, Joe Wentworth, Pradam Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, Mount Pleasant Automotive, ENS Graphics, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, Weber Brothers Sawmill, Conowinski Construction, Blockco Pools and Spas, and J&J Auto. Here comes the 3-2. It's going to miss low. It's going to be a walk for Strauch. Runners advance regardless. At third is McDonald. At second is Vasquez. At first is now Strauch. Morrow now at the dish with 1 out. The bases loaded, full of Irish here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Ever since Atkins has come out of the game, Glen Lake just really struggled on the bump. This one's going to be lined towards the outfield. It's going to be down for a base hit. McDonald is in to score. A great job in the outfield getting it back in. Only allow 1 run to come in, but it's an RBI single for Mr. Morrow. He is now 2 for 3 on the afternoon. Coming in to score his second run of the day is Hank McDonald. Vasquez up to third. Strauch up to second. And here comes Noah Zion with the bases loaded. Zion has already scored 3 runs in this game. He is 2 for 3 on the day. Had infield single in the first. Got on via fielder's choice in the second and singled in the 4th inning. It's 9-3, Sacred Heart Academy. If all four of the Irish came in, including Zion at the plate, you'd be down to your final 3 outs in the top of the 5th inning via the mercy rule for Maple City Glen Lake. That one's going to miss. 2-0 the count now to Mr. Zion. And with only 1 out, you're back to the top of the order. Your best arms have been used if you're Glen Lake. It is definitely a possibility, a threat for the Irish to put up 4 more here in the 4th. And make it a 13-3 game, and then only need 3 outs to try and close it out. That one's also going to miss. 3-0 the count to Zion. For McNitt, you kind of just got to throw one down the middle here, and imagine Zion with this lead. He might have the green light as well. We'll see. Here comes the 3-0 pitch to Noah Zion with the bases loaded, 1 out. That'll be over for a strike, and he was taken all the way. 9-3 Irish in front. Bottom of the 4th inning. Zion at the plate. He's already scored 3 runs in this game. All the base runners take a lead. Here comes the 3-2. It's going to be, or pardon me, the 3-1. It's over for a strike. That'll run the count full to 3-2. Looked like Zion might have been taken all the way on that one as well. Full count. 9-3 the score. Irish already with 5 across here in the bottom of the 4th inning. McNitt winds and deals. That one's going to bounce up there. It'll be a bases-loaded walk. Noah Zion is on base for the 4th time today. Vasquez will come in to score. Strauch up to 3rd. Morrow up to 2nd. And Brody Collin now to the dish. He is 1 for 2 on the day. Had an RBI single back in the 2nd inning. Grounded out the 2nd in the 1st and was hit by a pitch in the 4th and came around to score. The 6th number now up on the board here in the bottom of the 4th inning for the Irish. They're into double digits. They lead it 10-3. Here comes the pitch. Collins going to take that one outside corner for a strike. 10-3 the score. Irish in front here in the bottom of the 4th. Glen Lake led at 3-0 after the top of the 1st inning. The Irish then scored 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd to take the lead. Now they've really opened things up here in the bottom of the 4th inning with that 6th spot. That one's going to bounce up there. Nice job by the catcher keeping it in front of him. 1-1 the count to Brody Collin. Tegan Duffy on deck, who's 1 for 3 on the day. Behind him is Brady Davis, who was 2 for 2 on the day. He's also got a walk. He stolen 3 bases, scored 2 runs. That one's going to miss inside. 2-1 now the count to Brody Collin. Problem if you're McNitt on the bump here, there is no players to pitch around in this Sacred Heart Academy lineup 1 through 9. So you don't go after one guy, the next guy is going to make you pay. Here comes the 2-1. Check swing there for Collin. It's going to be over for a strike regardless. 2-2 the count, 1 out, bottom of the 4th inning. The Irish have already scored 6 here in the bottom of the 4th. They lead it 10-3 over Maple City Glen Lake. They're 5-0 on the year, looking to make it 6-0. And yeah, it says 4-0 on the broadcast because wasn't able to put it in after the first game. And one gets away from the catcher. Not far enough, though, to allow Strauch to come in from 3rd. It's going to run the count full to Brody Collin. We just had a bases-loaded walk moments ago. The Irish have officially batted around here in this 4th inning. Collins slaps that one foul on the full count. This inning started with Noah Zion singling. Coming around to score, he's back at first base. That's how long this inning has gone on for Maple City Glen Lake defensively. Here comes the 3-2 to Brody Collin once again. It's going to miss high. It's another bases-loaded walk. Coming into score is Strauch. Moving up to 3rd is Morrow. Moving up to 2nd is Zion. Now at 1st is Brody Collin. It's 11-3, and we might have another pitching change again. If you're Glen Lake, you haven't played a whole lot of games yet this year. You might be finding out who should be on the bump for you and maybe pitch their best pitcher in the first game. So they're down the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th now arm. Again, the Irish, though, if they score 2 more runs here, if you're Glen Lake, you're going to have to score something in the top of the 5th inning. And the scary part is you have got the heart of the lineup coming up. 3, 4, 5. And Tegan Duffy, who's stepping to the plate, is responsible for the only out of this inning for Sacred Heart Academy. Think about that. After Zion and Colin got on to start the inning, he got out. And now we've gone all the way through the lineup one more time. And still, there has not been another out surrendered by Maple City Glen Lake. We're going to take another break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. We won't send it out to the super long break. We'll send it off to, one of our normal commercial breaks. I'll make that joke. And come back. The Irish with a chance to really have a chance to close this one out in 5 if they get a couple more runs across. Bases are loaded. Tegan Duffy's at the dish. You know what? We're just going to keep things right here. Thanks to more of our great sponsors, Barberry Law, Gates Drilling and Service, Bill's Custom Fab, the Bird All-American Grill, Clark Modular Homes, Weefrich Financial, Woods Household Appliance, Brad Malley Well Drilling, along with Malley Construction, and J&J Auto, Blockco Pools and Spots, Conwinski Construction, Weber Brothers Sawmill, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, ENS Graphics, Mount Pleasant Automotive, Bryce Updegraff, Joe Wentworth, Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates. So another pitcher coming in for Maple City Glen Lake. Those substitutions, those replacement pitchers are brought to you by our friends at Mount Pleasant Automotive. Just like Coach Hartman, Coach Herman need replacement parts throughout this game. So does your vehicle. They've got them for you at Mount Pleasant Automotive on Mission Street in Mount Pleasant. Again, those big sponsors, you see their names, their logos up on the screen, from Barberry Law to our friends at Malley Construction. It is those folks, along with all the other sponsors each year, that are the reason why I'm able to bring you so many ball games, so many podcasts throughout the year. So when you think about doing business in the Mid-Michigan area, think about supporting those folks who are supporting these high schoolers through the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Ready to go. It's now Turner on the bump for Maple City Glen Lake. Tegan Duffy at the ditch. She's 1 for 3 on the day. RBI single back in the first inning. Fly out to center field and a pop out to second base his last 2 trips to the plate. That pop out to second base was the only out of this 4th inning. Duffy swings at the first pitch. It's a bouncer towards third. They try and get the force out at home, but it's a high throw. It's going to get away from the catcher. Now they try and get Zion going back into third, but he is safe. So another run comes in. I'm going to call it an RBI single for Tegan Duffy. Coming home to score from third is Morrow. Zion to third. Collin to second. It's 12-3 Sacred Heart Academy. The bases are loaded, and here comes Brady Davis to the plate, who is 2 for 2 on the day. He also has a walk. He's stolen at least 3 bases. He has 2 runs scored. Think about that Zaid Batchelder, baller of the game. Well, there's a lot of guys in the running for it, but if Davis gets a hit here, he might have a chance to, we got to go out there and close the deal on the defensive end. We talk about closing the deal, brought to you by our friends Robin Stressman and Associates, Bryce Updegraff, Joe Wentworth. Davis, chance to do that here. That one's going to miss. 1-1 now the count to Brady Davis. Davis steps out, wearing number 11, hitting on the left side. 12-3 Irish in front. They've put up 8 here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and there's still just 1 out. He's going to rope this one out to left field. It will be a catch, but they're going to have a chance to tag that runner from third. Coming in to score from third, his 4th run of the game is Noah Zion, and that makes it 13-3. If the Irish have a clean top of the 5th inning, that will do it. We now have Walt McDonald coming in to pitch hit for Mr. Seiler. Two outs, bottom of the 4th inning. 9 runs across here in the 4th for Sacred Heart Academy. Walt McDonald now stepping to the plate, hitting on the left side. Runners at first and second for the Irish. Duffy and Collin both lead away from first and second, respectively. Here comes the pitch to McDonald. He's going to rope this one out towards right field. And a lot of wind out there. Not an easy catch, but Glen Lake does bring it in for the final out of the 4th inning. a merciful final out here in the bottom of the fourth. It's now 13-3 Irish. They scored 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, and then a 9 spot here in the fourth. We're headed to the top of the 5th inning. I think even John Hunter knows this one is closing out as he heads out of here as well. Top of the 5th inning, Glen Lake coming up, and if they don't score at least 1 run, that will wrap things up. Earl Hartman, umpire, having a quick conversation out there, and we'll see who is going to head out onto the bump. It looks like it's going to be Brody Collin for Sacred Heart Academy that will head out onto the bump. Again, a little bit of a pressure situation here for this broadcaster, but I don't think Brody Collin is thinking anything of, well, I got to get out of here without giving up a run so we can end this game in 5. You're still at the early point of the season. If you're Coach Earl Hartman, you want to see as many arms on that bump as you can. I think Collin did pitch a little bit earlier today as well versus Rudyard. Kind of reset things out here in a moment. It'll be Brody Collin in the on the mound. Back behind the plate. It's going to remain Hay McDonald looking over at first. We got Brady Davis back at first. And so Collin at the plate, McDonald behind the dish. Davis at first, Morrow at second. Over at shortstop, looks like we got a substitution coming in as well. Nope, that's still Gator Seiler over there. And over at third base, still Mr. Jackson Moore. In the outfield, Vasquez, Zion, and then I'll be Tegan Duffy back out in right field. The 9 Irish out on the field defensively. Let's kind of reset things with another pitching change here. 3-0 was the score at the end of the top of the first inning. Glen Lake looked like they were going to win their second game in a row. They had just bested Rudyard 7-1 in 6 innings. That game went so long they cut it a bit short. But then since then, it's been all Irish all the time. Been blanked through the second, third, fourth inning has Maple City Glen Lake, and the Irish have put up a run in every inning. 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, and then a big 9 spot last half inning. So you're down to your final 3 outs here if you're Maple City Glen Lake via the old 10-run, 5-inning mercy rule. And boy, it seems like a long time. I wish I had a stopwatch of how long that last half inning was for Sacred Heart Academy. Because again, you had the pitching changes, 2 or 3 of them, 9 runs put up on the board for Sacred Heart Academy. Whew. It's Ben Wassa stepping to the plate. Number 9, then back to the top of the order for Maple City Glen Lake. Need at least 1 run here to stay alive in this ball game. Brody Collin looking to close the deal. Brought to you by our friends Joe Wentworth, Bryce Updegraff, Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates. First pitch is going to be over for a strike. I think that's what you tell Brody Collin. If you're Coach McDonald, Coach Hartman, just go out there and throw strikes. Doesn't matter if you give up 2, 3, 4 runs in this inning. We're looking in really good shape right now, in particular with what our offense is doing. That one is over for a strike. Quickly, the count 0-2. Tough spot here for Glen Lake. No one got to get something here in this half inning. Swing and a miss. It's a strikeout for Brody Collin. And on 3 pitches as well. We're back to the top of the order. Sully Atkins singled and stole a base way back in the first inning, grounded out to third in the second inning, and he has not been up to bat since then because it's been, well, not 3 up, 3 down the last 2 innings, but 7 up, 6 outs. Collin winds and deals. Just missing that outside corner for the strike there. We're in the top of the 5th inning. The Irish lead at 13-3. Looking to close the deal out there as Brody Collin, brought to you by our friends at Bryce Updegraff, Joe Wentworth, Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates. This one grounded towards third, gathering it. Quick throw across the diamond for Jackson Moore, and it's a ground out to third. Down to their final out now is Maple City Glen Lake. Colton Newman heading to the plate. And Newman on the day is 0 for 2 with a pair of punch-outs. Brody Collin, you'd love a punch-out here to end this ball game. And could be very close. We're heading to a break in our Bird All-American Grill post-game show here on this one. That's one of the crazy things about high school baseball, softball is, sometimes they can last a long time. Like that last 4th inning, and then, before you know it, game could be over. Collin misses on that pitch, 1-0. This one's going to be a rope to center field. Cole Newman says, I am not ready to be done playing baseball yet today, as he lines the single to center field. Probably the hardest hit ball possibly all game as well from Maple City Glen Lake. Great hit there from Colton Newman, the number 2 hitter for Maple City Glen Lake. That'll bring Spencer McNitt to the plate. He's reached base both times, a walk and a hit by pitch. Final out is what Glen Lake is down to, unless they get a run across here in the 5th. This one's going to be hit up the middle towards Morrow at second. He gathers it, fields it, and that will do it. 13-3 is our final. Sacred Heart Academy victorious over Maple City Glen Lake. Last thing we got to do before our Bird All-American Grill post-game show is figure out some of these accolades. Our Zaid Batchelder Baller of the Game, brought to you by Weefrich Financial, Weber Brothers Sawmill, Timber of the Game, and what you not. We'll talk about it when we come back. The Irish a winner, 13-3 and 5 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Hello, I'm Mike Stanton, and I'm honored to represent the Marilyn Chapman Memorial Fund, created to honor Marilyn's legacy of generosity, compassion, and commitment to our community. At its core, our mission is simple: to support our youth, remove barriers, and create opportunities for kids to grow, compete, and succeed, both in their community and in the game of life. We are incredibly excited to support the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. They do an outstanding job highlighting student athletes, local schools, and the power of teamwork, shining a light on the hard work and dedication that is often overlooked. This partnership allows us to celebrate not just wins on the field, but character and leadership along the way. At the end of the day, it's about investing in our youth, strengthening our communities, and carrying forward Maryland's spirit of giving. To learn more about the Marilyn Chapman Memorial Fund and the events we support, find us on Facebook by searching Marilyn Chapman Memorial Fund. Go Blue Jays.
Value is not just a price. When you buy something for your home, it's an investment. Knowing that you're getting a great deal and service after the sale is priceless. At Woods Household, we only carry quality products for your home at competitive prices. Furniture that is attractive and durable. Comfortable mattresses that last for years. Flooring that stands up to wear and tear. These are all products that last by trusted name brands like FlexSteel, Serta, Whirlpool, and many more. So shop the Woods way.
Mumford Oil and Gas Supply is your one-stop shop for top quality products and procurement in the Michigan oil and gas industry. With over 45 years of experience and a strong commitment to customer satisfaction, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply delivers the best solutions for your oil and gas production, drilling, and service needs. If you need it, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply can get it. Visit them on Fancher today or give them a call at 989-317-8582. Malley Construction in Mount Pleasant are experts in residential and commercial construction. From poured walls, flat work, pipe work, and road work, Malley Construction does it all. And they are Michigan Department of Transportation pre-qualified. Malley Construction is family-owned and a proud supporter of local high school sports. Bryce Updegraff with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates thanks the coaches and officials who put in the time to help student athletes achieve their dreams and goals. For all of your real estate needs, the Bryce is right with Bryce Updegraff. With Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, 989-620-6595. The Diner, where homemade favorites come to life every day for breakfast and lunch. From fluffy pancakes to savory sandwiches, The Diner has your cravings covered. Discover the perfect blend of comfort food and camaraderie at The Diner. Join them every Friday night till 7 for their famous fish fry. The Diner on North Mission, Mount Pleasant. Hiring a cleaning service doesn't mean you're lazy. Martinez Cleaning knows it means you value your time and want to come home and relax and not worry about the mess. Martinez Cleaning allows you to do just that. Come home and relax to a nice clean home. Schedule your appointment and learn more by visiting Martinez Cleaning on Facebook or call today at 989-289-8615.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome to the Bird All-American Grill post-game show here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Chris Bachman back with it one more time, and hopefully maybe some baseball, softball Monday with the Mount Pleasant Oilers. I believe it's a softball team hosting Bay City Central, but we're at the point of the year. Your boy wakes up in the morning. If it's a nice day, we are probably going to have a ball game. Our final here, 13-3, Sacred Heart Academy over Maple City Glen Lake. Glen Lake scored 3 on the top of the first inning, but then the Irish had 13 unanswered to close it out via the mercy rule in 5 innings. Weber Brothers Sawmill Timber of the game. Zaid Batchelder Baller of the game, brought to you by our friends at Weefrich Financial. Going to have a combination here, but our Bill's Custom Fab fabrication of the game is going to go to Hank McDonald for the crazy bobbling catch that he had in foul territory down the first baseline. I don't know how good of a view I had it with my camera because, again, we just got the one camera here for baseball so you can see the whole field. But if I'm able to zoom in on that one and get a good shot, we might be able to put that highlight up on Facebook, Instagram later this evening. And so that will be our Bill's Custom Fab fabrication of the game from Hank McDonald, with the Zaid Batchelder Ballers of the game, brought to you by our friends at Weefrich Financial. Mr. Brady Davis was 2 for 3 on the day, essentially. He had a walk, got out the final out, but still kind of drove in a run in that final out. But he stole a base every time he got on, drove in a couple runs. He was fantastic. And also, Noah Zion. He reached base via an infield single, a fielder's choice, a single, and a walk. He scored all 4 times he reached base. 4 of the 13 runs coming from Mr. Noah Zion. Duffy had an RBI single. Brody Collin had an RBI single. Gator Seiler had an RBI single. Hank McDonald had an RBI single. So did Caleb Struck. So did Jack Morrow. It was a great day all the way around for the Irish boys. They are now 6-0 on this young season as they head toward, well, I just want to say head towards May when we know baseball will get in every single day. But the Irish are winner 13-3. They are now 6-0. Our Zaid Batchelder Ballers of the game, brought to you by Weefrich Financial. Mr. Brady Davis and Mr. Noah Zion, our Bill's Custom Fab fabrication of the game, going to Hank McDonald on the crazy catch. Thanks so much to everybody who joined me here on this beautiful Saturday as the Sacred Academy Irish State undefeated. We'll be back with you